America's laziest interviewer. Proof Meghan actually doesn't bother to speak to all podcast guests. Remember Oprah Winfrey's bombshell interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry earlier this year, in which she stroked the subjects' egos and failed to probe them on any of her hyperbolic claims? Well, it's found an even worse interviewer than Oprah, Meghan Markle. Listening to Archetypes, Meghan's podcast about dissecting labels, found it a little weird that the guests never spoke over each other. You'd think that as the interviewees, they try and get a word in edgeways through Meghan's babbling. Meghan Markle's controversial Archetypes podcast is scaling the top of the charts, but is she really speaking to guests she has on air? One of Markle's former podcast guests has sparked speculation that she never actually spoke to the Duchess for the interview. Alison Yarrow, author of 90s Bitch, Media Culture and the Failed Promise of Gender Equality, appeared on the podcast in an episode titled To Be or Not to Be, in which the royal discussed how calling a woman difficult is a code word for the B word. Etymologists believe that the word bitch came out of the Greek insult that meant women were dogs in heat begging for men. That was the idea. And there was a more modern definition that was written down in the 1890s, and it was bitch was an appellation that was the worst name you could call an English woman, even worse than a whore. Meanwhile, in a resurfaced Instagram post from August, Yarrow shared a photo of herself post-Archetypes interview in front of a sign for audio production house Gimlet Media, and thanked the production for being an excellent interviewer. Excited to be included in the visionary series Archetypes, hosted by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, that aims to dissect and subvert the archetypes that hold women back. Cheers to producer Farah Safari, an excellent interviewer, and the folks at Gimlet and Spotify who get it done, she added. With the seemingly shady caption by Yarrow, some social media watchdogs are now speculating that Markle doesn't do the work with the guests on the podcast. But in other episodes, she obviously featuring having full complete conversations with guests such as Jamila Jamil, Serena Williams, Paris Hilton and Mindy Kaling. Although the episodes include the 41-year-old royal in deep conversation with A-list celebrities and friends, they also have clips of experts, academics and authors talking about specific topics, including Yarrow, Dr. Laura Kay, and sociologist Nancy Wang Yuan. The audio clips of the experts have been cut and interwoven between audio of Markle, so it's not clear whether or not she spoke to any of the experts herself. Meghan Markle's Archetypes podcast has been tearing up the charts on Spotify, even giving Joe Rogan a run for his money. The show, hosted by the Duchess of Sussex herself, explores words and phrases that have described women for years, and dives into stereotypes that females are often subjected to in their lives. Before releasing episodes of the podcast, Meghan admitted that she hoped to dissect, explore and subvert the labels that try to hold women back, while having conversations with other women about labels and stereotypes which have defined the gender throughout the decades. It's no secret that Piers Morgan has been very opinionated about Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, over the years. The TV personality has often spoke out with his thoughts about Meghan and the rest of the royal family. Morgan wrote in a piece that Harry wishes his father well in his role as king, but has deeply hurt King Charles III by exciting the royal family and speaking about him in negative light over the past 2 years. Morgan also notes that if Harry really wanted to make the transition to king easier for his father, he would also speak with Meghan about no longer publicly bashing the royals as well. He and his wife Meghan have also hurled endless other incendiary bombs at the royals, branding them a bunch of callous, uncaring racists.